This is the first photo book or zine that I've ever made. It's something that I wanted to do for a while, ever since buying Sol Lighter Early Colour. I started to understand the value of having a tangible photo that's printed in front of you. Instead of just looking at it on screens all the time, there's something different about having it printed on paper. And I really like that. And so that's why I printed my first photo book or zine. I don't know which one to call it. So what I wanted to do in this video is to share my process, how I chose my images, how I went about making this, how I ordered the book, how I built the book, and all that stuff. And the first step was just to gather all the images together and have them printed off. So I printed lots of little 4x4" square prints. I did this over a period of a few months on a combination of MPix and Shutterfly. Either of those ones work fine, and there's plenty others you can find online as well. Once I had all the prints together, I was able to flick through them and eliminate the ones that I knew immediately that I didn't really want to put in the book. Then the next step was to put them all on my wall. I cleared off a wall in the office and I stuck them all up there. And this was easier than laying them out on the floor, because if I put them all out on the floor, I have to clean them up again and I can't leave them there for any length of time. So I stuck them to the wall and I was able to look at them, move them around and find ones that looked good next to each other. A lot of these images are in different folders on my hard drive, and it's hard to get them all on the screen together to look at them in that way. So this just seemed like the best way of doing it. I'd also seen a couple other people do this online and it seemed like a good way to go about it. The third step was to build the pages of the book. So I put them into a website called Blurb, which is like a bookmaking type website. No particular reason I chose that other than I'd heard of them before. I saw a photojournalist who makes YouTube videos talk about them. It might work for them. Either way, it didn't matter. It's just a company that I knew of, and I knew that you could sell them through that website as well. So it just seemed like an easy package for someone who didn't know what they were doing. I set the book up as one image on each page and set them up in their pairings that I'd found on the wall. At that point I also moved the pages around a little bit, sometimes deleted some images and found a better pairing for it, and it was just kind of like a second or third edit at this point. Not being experienced in doing this or being a graphic designer myself, I found it quite difficult to actually design the book in a way that I thought might look nice. So the further I got with it, the more simplified I got, which is why I just one image on each page. I tried to make them both the same orientation and just make the book super simple, and I figured that was the best way. Otherwise, I'm probably going to make it look tacky. The fourth step was to order a draft copy and see if any of the images didn't print well or needed extra editing or anything like that, and mostly they printed fine. I think there was one or two that I had to go back and change the colors a little bit or something, or maybe even just eliminate because it didn't look good printed, but otherwise it came out pretty well. I was okay with it and I liked the quality of the paper as well. But I did reassess the design a little bit. I decided it was too big. It's a magazine size and I would rather it was the smaller mini photo book size. So I changed it to a 5x8 book, and I also changed the cover to be just grey. I thought that was a bit more subtle, I liked it a bit better, and I'm all about subtlety, to be honest. Especially if it's a small book like this that's going to sit on your shelf, and I didn't want it to get in the way. I didn't want it to be something that would take up too much space. The other upside to this was that making it smaller made it cheaper, and I'm Scottish and apparently we're all cheap asses, so the book's cheaper. So I'm putting this book, or I'm putting the smaller modified version of this book up on the Blurb website for sale. I'm going to limit it to 100 copies. Once I sell 100 copies, I'm going to take it down and it'll be gone forever. If it's something you're into and you have the means to buy photo books, then I would greatly appreciate it if you're interested in picking one of these up. It will help to support the channel, hopefully make this channel better, help it to grow, and do some fun stuff in the future. Now, quick note is the purpose of this book was not to be a finished and completed project. It's photos that I made throughout 2019, and I wanted to make it like a visual diary of my favourite photos of the year. And so I think starting to make photo books this year is a good point in my personal photography development. I think I'm going to make these as a running visual diary from now on, as long as I have the means to do so. What you'll find in this book is mostly street photography, that I shot in Philadelphia, as well as some shots from New York, national parks that I visited, from Florida, from LA as well. But the vast majority of the pictures are shot in Philadelphia, many of which were in the photo vlogs that I made, so you may recognize a lot of the pictures from that. I'll put a link in the description below this video to my website and to the blurb site where you can buy the book. Go check it out if you're interested. If you enjoy my videos, don't worry about subscribing, don't worry about liking. Just do me a favor and check out this playlist up here, or wait for the end screen. I'll link videos and playlists over there. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.